It's still weird to see Jimmy Butler because he doesn't flow in the way the Warriors normally do or we're accustomed to. Hey, come down in transition, hitting threes. Jimmy is more mid-range, get to the hoop kind of guy, and he had a big night again last night. But you still have Steph being Steph, and that'll be enough to keep you in the upper echelon out west. And the West is stacked. And OKC is great. OKC, now, we haven't had a team repeat. The last 7 years, we've had a different champ all 7 years. And if I was betting, I would probably say I'll take the bet that we'll have a different team winning the NBA championship. It's just hard to repeat. But you do have a young team, might be the youngest team still in the NBA. They have depth. You have SGA. Chet Holmgren looked really good last night. They're a balanced team, good team, defensively a really good team as well. But we'll see what Minnesota has to say about this. Denver has to say about this. Houston's got an odd roster. Got a lot of tall guys, but they don't have a point guard. Fred VanVleet injured out for the year. You need a point guard on that team because Reed Shepherd is not your point guard. He's a guy that you point to and you you say to the opposition, go after Reed Shepherd. That happened last night. Marvin's texting me, goes, they're going after your guy, Reed Shepherd. They were singling him. Who was the guy with OKC who's going after him?
Case and Wallace.
Of course, you have Case and Wallace going after Reed Shepherd. And I went, they're putting him on an island. Yes, Marvin.
Yes, I'm watching the game last night, and Case and Wallace has the ball, and they're literally clearing out for him. I was like, when did they clear out for Case and Wallace? Reed Shepherd's guarding him.
But OKC, SGA is just, he has that innate ability. There's something about certain players where you go, I don't know how he does it, but he does it. And he does it on a consistent basis. And he gets you clutch points. When you go for 35, but you give me 18 in the fourth quarter and overtime, that's a star. When the game is on the line, I want you to have the ball. And that's why they got Kevin Durant, but they didn't go to Kevin Durant late in the game, but that's why you got Kevin Durant. So you have that closer. They didn't have the closer last year. They had talent, but that's why you got him. I want Kevin Durant, although this first time I watched or looked at him, I go, man, he's older. He's older.
A little light up top.
Yeah, but, Mike made being bald, famous. But I would just go bald, Same thing with LeBron. But that doesn't make you older. It just felt like Durant seemed older for the first time. I mean, you got LeBron with sciatica. That's what I would have, not be one of the great athletes in the world. What's next? Bunions? DNP bunions. But great night, fun night. Basketball, you got a full slate coming up tonight. The odds for the World Series, Dodgers big favorites. Shohei Ohtani, big favorite to be the World Series MVP, followed by Vlad Guerrero, then Freddie Freeman and George Springer. Ohtani off one game got the National League Championship Series MVP. Because he didn't do much prior to that, but he did a whole lot in Game 4 to be the MVP of the NLCS. I don't know who else you would have given it to. I would have given it to Blake Snell. I think he set the tone for the entire series with starting pitching, had the one hitter. I thought that was like, oh, wow, okay. And then the rest of the pitching staff followed suit. But I think Ohtani on the nameplate had them put team effort instead of Shohei Ohtani, I believe. And his way of saying, probably shouldn't be the MVP. We all are the MVP. All right, Seton, poll question for hour one is what?
We got two options for you here. Best part of the NBA being back on NBC is Michael Jordan or the music?
Okay.
I expect the music to win in a landslide.
Oh, okay.
Just saying.
Okay. Yeah, I want to see what else they do with Mike. I want to see how accessible, because Mike Tirico's got to go down to Mike's place, and it's basically Mike's home court advantage here. And how often is Mike Tirico going to be able to go there and do a sit-down with Michael Jordan? And what are you talking about things that happened maybe last week? Are you talking about kind of a bigger picture with players or teams, or maybe his assessment of LeBron? not necessarily something that happened. So I don't know how timely it's going to be. That would be my biggest concern is, are we talking about things that are happening right now in the league, or is it maybe a broader spectrum for Mike? Yeah, Paulie.
It does feel like it's going to be less analysis and more just riffing with Mike and seeing what you got. But he's probably the least accessible superstar of the past quarter century. He does commercials, but not interviews. And I find it, even last night, the story about shooting a free throw at a rental house, I don't know if it was impressive or sad. He's a mixed character. I got kind of bummed out, but because it feels like he'd pay $1 billion to be Michael Jordan again for 1 year. He'd write a check for half his net worth to be 30 again for 1 year, which I think everybody would, but it felt like he brought it up. It grinded him.
Oh, I wouldn't spend that money.
I think he would in a second.
I think Mike loves his money. I think if you said, hey, Mike, would you spend $100 million to be you for one more year? Maybe. Not $1 billion.
I have his net worth is 3.8. He could skip a bill.
Yeah, he ain't skipping anything. Mike gets paid. Mike's still if Mike didn't have Air Jordan, if he didn't have his brand, Mike would be more accessible. He might be more like Peyton Manning. But he doesn't have to work. He plays golf and probably goes to a couple of board meetings, maybe Zoom calls, and that's it. Like Larry Bird disappeared. Like that's a recluse. Mike disappeared just so he could play golf and he doesn't have to work. Larry doesn't want to do anything. He probably just wants to drink beer and, hang out in French Lick, Indiana. Yes, Eaton.
Larry tried for a minute.
He did.
And then I decided either he decided he didn't want that or that decided it didn't want him, But then he was like, I think I'm good.
But Magic is there. Magic with his business empires. Like there's certain players. Joe Montana's not around. I mean, he was pouring drinks in South Bend, with a Guinness sponsorship. But he does interviews. He's available. But Magic has a business empire here. And, he was doing stuff on First Take and the NBA. And I'm curious about Barkley and crew with their debut on the mothership. And, now you have, some comparisons here. You got NBC, and now we're going to go, okay, let's see what the mothership does. You bring in Shaq, you bring in Charles and Kenny, Ernie, and they'll make their debut tonight.